Good evening. This is the popper scan for Tuesday, April 5th. First stock on the popper scan for tonight is PARD, cancer biotech stock that we jumped into in the chat room today, small at 42 cents. As you can see here on the chart, 43 cents is a breakout, and we could get a move up there to the recent high, so 47, 48 cents. Not a bad little move here in the near term, and stops 41 cents. So decent upside, minimal downside risk, especially with the biotech stocks on the move recently. REVU, this was on the popper scan last night. We jumped into it today, 43 cents. Nice little pop on this one. Unfortunately, as the email alert was going out on this one, they released some news, weird time of the day to actually release it, and that really set the stock on fire. Next breakout would be a move through 50 cents where we could consider adding to our positions for a run back to 60 cents. Stops on this one right now, I would place stops at 42 cents on that 43-cent buy that we did. WEST is on the popper scanner, but they are doing a reverse split next week, so this is one we probably just want to watch it until the reverse splits happens. I believe the reverse split is actually going to be a very good thing for WEST. They're going to do a 1-for-4 reverse split, so this one's going to be trading in the $1.50 to $2 range next week after the reverse split, which could be the catalyst that finally lights this one up. Remember what happened to PKT when it did its reverse split not too long ago. Next up, we've got RAD, Rite Aid Corporation. We tried this one last week. We got into it a little bit early. This is one where I would have a trigger of an ad on a break of 110 with a 120 target and a 106 stop loss area on it. Next up, we've got DRL. This has been on the popper scanner for the last couple of days. Breakout is 120. Target would be 130 to 135. Financial stock, banks and financial stocks have been popping up quite a bit on the popper scan. So if they start to go after the small banks tomorrow, this is definitely one to keep an eye on the near term. INO, small little biotech play. As I mentioned in the trading alert, they are at giving a number of presentations over the next few days into next week. Nice little biotech play here. Breakout is 120, and we're looking for 125 to 130 plus. More if we get a press release. Maybe we'll get a similar move to what we saw the last time we played this one back in early January when it went on that nice big 40% run over the course of essentially a week or so. MMG, the gold plays were on fire today. Gold was up 22 bucks a share. The gold stocks really took off. MMG might be an interesting one. I actually probably should have had us jump into this one at $1.20 to $1.22. So let's see what happens in this one tomorrow. Maybe if it gets a pullback and there's continued action in the gold plays, this one could be an interesting one for a move up to the 140 area. This is actually the perfect kind of scenario you want to see on one of these. It's a slow move higher every single day. Probably what will light this one up, though, is a break of 140. And again, if you start to see what we'd be looking for is to see some of these small little bank plays really start to move, and then we can start chasing after laggards. For now, you got to play them kind of tentatively just because, these bank stocks can be a bitch to play sometimes. But when they start to move, they really move. BRD, gold play, got a nice little pop on this one today. I was actually looking at it all day. Should have had us get into this one a little bit earlier, but that's what it is. Not my favorite kind of play. We tried this gold play a little while ago. It takes a hell of a lot of volume for it to move. I prefer TLR, the one that we jumped into at $1 and under. But I'd like to see BRD go on a run just so that it would drive traders into the ones that are lagging, like TRL. CPSL, nice little chart here. Steel stock, can be a frustrating play, but this chart action says we really should pay attention to it. And it's been trying to break out over the last couple of days. Where did it actually close today at CP? Close at $1.71. It might get interesting on a break of 175, 180, and it really could go on a move. It's just depending on whether the rare earth traders start to go crazy and chasing it. But the chart is ready, really just needs an excuse. Sirius, actually, big couple of days on Sirius here, but I'd really like to see this one consolidate before it gets up to that 188 area. That's where I'd definitely be looking to add this one for a move on the rule of 2. LXRX, still waiting for that 180 break. Looked like it might have done it today, but then we had a little pullback in the market. So definitely keep a really close eye on this one going into tomorrow's session, especially if the bio plays are moving. Cancer Bio's doing very well today. THLD could be interesting if it gets some follow through tomorrow with an upside of $2 on this one. GLCH, nice follow through again today on this one. Upside objective would be $2. SNSS, this was on the popper yesterday. Got a nice entry in this one. If you paid attention this morning on that break of 2, hit that first target at 220 on the nose, and then gave it all back going into the close. Hopefully we see some follow through on this one tomorrow and a move back up to that 220 plus area, especially on continued bio momentum. WAVX looks like it's got its eyes on that 340 and then 360 area. Break at 340 and really could see a quick move to that 360 area. Last but not least, we've got EK, Eastman Kodak. This had a huge move last week on news that one of its patents was being brought up. Nice little steady pushback or bounce back over the last couple of days. A break of 350 on this one, and we could see a renewed move up to 375 and $4. So that's it for the popper scanner. Any questions, feel free to shoot me an email.